Something I want to talk about real quick before I get this video started. I've been doing this review gig for a long time. I've had some pretty good luck from, you guys sending me bats. Had a very loyal audience. I appreciate everything that everyone's done for me. Get me hooked up with a bat so I could get you guys a review and then turn around and get out from underneath it for a decent price. Whatever it may be, I appreciate everything you guys have done for me. And this is a first for me, and I do want to talk about it for a minute. Ryan Wickstrom sent me this DB44, the Juggy OVL, the U-Trip model. A couple hundred swings on it, and he says, it's not bad. It could stand to be hit a little more. So, just beat on it. See what it's got. And I get out, put my first swings on this from me getting it out of the box and everything else, and started with some 52s, worked my way into the Rockets, and then hit just a mix of 44, 400. There were some 44, 525s, whatever you want to call them, mixed in there too, the evil hot maxes. But bottom line, I still only put about 50 swings on this bat. I got done with the round, walked away from the camera, and then looked down and saw that this bat had cracked on me. I'm going to try and show you in this picture here. Please forgive my ugly mug for the close-up. Can you see, running right through the bottom line of this E right here, you can kind of see it's a pretty long little crack there. Could just be a paint seam, but it does concern me. Most paint seams, especially on the DeMarinis, usually run horizontal with the barrel, and this one is diagonal, and it looks like it ends right about here and starts clear back up in here. So that does concern me and make me think this is cracked. I contacted Ryan and let him know what was going on. I said, hey, just letting you know now, I do owe you a bat. This thing cracked, and there's really nothing else to explain. I've been doing this for a long time, and this is the first time that this has happened, and I do intend on making this right. I'm going to talk with Ryan, figure out what he wants to do, as far as making this situation right. It just bugs me. You guys been more than good to me, trusted me with all kinds of bats and equipment and everything else. And for me to finally crack a bat, sure, you could say, hitting the hard stuff, what'd you expect? But, Ryan said himself, had a couple hundred swings on it, and were we necessarily expecting to see it crack this early? No. And again, may not be a crack, but the way it looks does concern me and make me think that it might be the start of something. Regardless, though, this is a first for me, and it irks me. I just wanted to talk about it because I have had people ask me before, if this bat breaks when I send it to you, what's going to happen? I was like, I'll do everything I can to make this right for you. You trust me with your equipment, so if something happens to it, I fully expect to make it right. Sorry for the Rambletron intro here. I just wanted to talk about this for a minute. Thanks, Ryan Wickstrom, for the U-Trip Juggy. My buddy Dalton Colley got the ASA one for us. Let's go check out the video. Starting off with the U-Trip model here. Both of these bats are 27 ounce. I have a 12-inch barrel, composite barrel, composite handle, and both have a pretty good size inload to them. I got started with some 52s, worked my way into some BP Rockets, and then onto the 44s as I discussed. I hit just a handful of 52s with this thing. The barrel is super, super, super soft, and it did not sound good, and I'm not going to lie, it was just not a pleasing experience. So I pretty much just nixed the 52s really early on and dove straight into the BP Rockets. The bat was hitting them okay, but just the sound and the feel was not okay with me. Moving into the Rockets, though, this thing really came around. You could hear the sound difference. You could feel it off the barrel a little bit. But my main complaint was the fact that this handle is just not for me. I've never been a fan of the flexi handles anyway. But it seemed like the more I tried to fight this thing, the worse it was for me. Trying to cut a ball, keep a ball down, just kind of poke the ball around and do some base hitting a little bit. I could not get any kind of good feedback off this thing. It's kind of funny. I couldn't do anything with this besides, you know, hit a ball out of the ballpark or drive a ball deep into the outfield. There was no in between for me. It's the only thing I could do to make this bat feel good. I know that's just my swing. It has nothing to do with the bat, but it was still a complaint for me. But do not get me wrong. The performance with this thing was absurd if you could get everything where it needed to be. Durability does make you wonder a little bit since it did crack early, but I guess that's neither here nor there. Durability has always been kind of a subjective thing to me anyway, because you never know who did what with the bat as far as what kind of balls they've hit, and it's a product of mass production. You're going to have flaws. Maybe that was the case here. Maybe these just aren't that durable. I do know this bat was hitting very well. The barrel was nice and soft, reminded me pretty much of the new breed, with a handle that was not forgiving at all. Let's give the ASA model a try and see if we have better luck. So getting things started with the ASA model, had that same big end load, same goofy flexy handle, but the barrel in this was, in my opinion, quite a bit stiffer than the U-Trip model. Performed well though, I will say that, but just this handle, the feel of this bat overall was really starting to wreak havoc with my swing. This round probably doesn't look very good as far as, you know, really wanting to judge a bat based on performance. If I did barrel a ball up, it did feel good. You could see the performance was there. Honestly, this bat just does not fit my swing. Only got a handful of swings in with this, and I was really starting to fight it. I figured I would just shut it down. I concluded what I needed to as far as, you know, getting it going. It had about 100 swings on it. Dalton and I have been hitting it a little bit in BP. And the one thing I will say is the feedback has gotten better as time has gone on, as the barrel kind of loosens up, but I mean, you've really got to be good at hitting a sweet spot in order to enjoy these bats, in my opinion. Both of them were great performers, but very unforgiving as far as feedback goes. This is done fine with 44s and 52s. Dalton and I have hit, you know, quite a bit of stuff with it just to get it broken in and opened up, and it hasn't seemed to, you know, skip a beat or hitting the harder stuff, so that is nice because some of the ASA bats aren't able to do that anymore, it seems like. I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, go out and beat it to death with some 44s or some, you know, BP rockets or anything harder like that, but if you play in a league that does still use 44s, you should be in good shape with this bat. Really all I got to say about this though, guys, bottom line is they're good performers. I personally wouldn't suggest one of these bats, but if that's your thing, by all means go for it. I hope you enjoy it. That's all I got for this though, guys. Thanks for stopping in and checking it out. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it around, and comment wherever it's posted. See you guys.
Oh, he brought it back.
Look how peaceful, Brad. Baby.
Barf.
Come here.